welcome. I'm Ijoma Konyaso. Tonight, ousted PDP acting chairman Ali-Modu bounces back, storms party's national secretariat in Abuja to assume leadership. President Muhammadu condoles with the United States over Sunday's terrorist shooting in Orlando nightclub. Militant group Niger Delta Avengers makes U-turn, finally agrees to dialogue with federal government over attacks on oil installations. And psychologist declares Oscar Pistorius depressed and unfit for jail at the resumed sentencing hearing for the Paralympic athlete over the murder of his girlfriend.
And on business news tonight, federal government plans to integrate capital market master plan into the country's medium-term expenditure framework.
And on sports news tonight, Belarus defeat Nigeria in the opening round of games at the Women's Basketball Olympic qualifying tournament in France.
And from Abuja, I'm Gloria Umezuke. House of Representatives summons Justice and Communication Ministers, NCC's Executive Vice Chairman, demand explanation for reduction of 1.4 trillion naira fine imposed on MTN.
The leadership crisis of the People's Democratic Party is far from over, as its former acting national chairman, Senator Ali-Modu, today stormed the party's secretariat with his supporters to assume the leadership of the party. And this comes a week after the party's board of trustees handed over the affairs of the PDP to the caretaker committee led by Ahmed Makarfi, following the ouster of Senator Ali-Modu during the party's national convention in Port Harcourt. Senator Sharif, who was earlier barred from entering the premises of the PDP Secretariat by armed police officers, later gained entrance after consultations with police authorities. He told reporters that he remains the sole chairman of the party till 2018.
Only a week ago, the Board of Trustees chairman of the People's Democratic Party handed over the affairs of the party to the Makarfi-led caretaker committee. At that meeting, the Board of Trustees announced that Senator Ahmed Makarfi-led committee is the authentic committee that will run the affairs of the party.
It is now time for us, as the chairman of the Board of Trustees of your great party, to make official handover to legitimate person to run the activities of this party, and that is the person of Senator His Excellency Ahmed Mohamed Makarfi, who was duly appointed and accepted by all of us.
Well, this has not settled the party's leadership tussle. Senator Ali-Modu storms the party secretariat with his supporters. But Senator Sharif is barred from entering the premises by armed policemen. Outside the premises, Sharif accused the police of wrongfully depriving him entrance to his office. He told journalists that he will take the issue beyond the police.
The court clearly stated that the IG should give us police to come into our office. Instead, he decided to block our office. Here is a court order clearly saying we should go into the office, and nothing is stopping us. We will wait. We will take this matter beyond Nigerian police.
Senator Sharif later left with his entourage for a meeting at the party's annex at the Legacy House. Moments later, he returned to the party's secretariat, and after some consultations with the policemen at the gate, he is allowed into the compound and then his office. Addressing journalists for a second time, Senator Sharif insists that he remains the chairman until 2018.
I remain the authentic chairman unless the laws of our land, if the courts make a pronouncement and say that Ali Sharif is not the chairman, I will obey, as I always obey the laws of our land. But as of today, till the year 2018, Ali Sharif is the national chairman of PDP.
As it stands, the dust raised by the aborted Port Harcourt Convention is yet to settle. Political watchers are waiting to see what this will mean for the soul of the People's Democratic Party.
Well, joining me now to look at all this is one of the party's chieftains and political advisor to the former President Goodluck Jonathan, Mr. Ahmed Goodluck, and he joins me from Abuja. Thank you for joining us on the News at 10.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
Yeah, but we saw you today standing with Senator Sharif on this matter of access to the party secretariat. And you remember that just last week, the caretaker committee resumed at that same secretariat. How do you propose this is going to work out?
Well, first and foremost, there is no provision for caretaker committee under our constitution. You don't run the constitution by your desires or wishes. You run the party by the constitution. You don't run the party by your desires. In the first place, when we were in Port Harcourt, the party was restrained from conducting election into two offices, the national chairman, national secretary, and national auditor. That order was given by a federal high court in Lagos on the 12th day of May. And on the 16th day of May, Abuja FCT High Court gave a final judgment in the case filed by Etebia against the party. And the judgment was clear that the vacancies of 17 officers was not, the offices were not vacant until 2017. So when the orders by the courts could not be vacated on Friday, the national chairman, who is supposed to chair any national convention, Senator Ali-Modu Sharif, obeying the lawful court orders, suspended the convention pending when issues in court are sorted out. Some few people drove to the convention square after the national chairman met with the NWC members and suspended the convention. They went ahead and formed a contraption called a caretaker committee, which has no place under our constitution. Immediately after that, they went to the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, and obtained an order ex parte restraining Sharif from parading himself as the national chairman of the PDP. Everybody knows that an ex parte order lapses after 14 days. By Order 26, Rules 12, 1, and 2, any order obtained on a motion ex parte lapses after 2 weeks. On the 9th of June, that order died. It was not renewed, it was not extended, the life came to an end, which leaves the legal occupant of that office, Senator Dr. Ali Sharif, to assume his office based on the court orders of the Federal High Court, Lagos, given on the 24th day of May, specifically directing the Inspector General of Police to provide security for Ali-Modu Sharif to carry out his lawful duties as the national chairman.
Okay, if I can just comment.
The BOT has no executive power to hand over the party office to any contraption called caretaker committee.
Okay, if I can just comment
The BOT
there.
is only advisory.
If I can just
if you are
comment there,
talking
Mr. Goodluck.
about the leadership of the party, of that party at that level, that is the National Working Committee, you must elect those officers. Don't forget, Ali-Modu Sharif was elected in the neck of the party, the second highest decision making of the party. He was elected. 3 people stood election. He got 68 votes. The second runner-up got 8 votes, and the third got 1. That was when he was elected to replace Maazu, who resigned his appointment on the 20th of May, 2015. The constitution of the PDP clearly states.
All right, if I can just come in there briefly.
47,
let me just try and
Article 6, that somebody from that zone must be elected to replace Maazu, to serve out Maazu's tenure.
All right, what
Maazu was elected on the 10th of December 2013. He was elected to serve a tenure of 4 years. He resigned on the 20th day of May. Ali Sharif was elected to replace him and serve out his tenure.
All right.
That tenure only comes to an end in 2018 December.
If I can just come in there, what I'm trying to ask at this point is, you've talked about your own injunction, that injunction expiring on the 9th of June. There are a plethora of injunctions and court orders, and everyone seems confused at this point. What does this say about the state of the party when one side says you're not supposed to be chairman, you're saying that particular order expired on the 9th, and the other side is insisting that a lot of the matters are still in court and have not yet been resolved, hence the need for the caretaker committee? What does that say about the state of the party?
No, there is no provision for caretaker committee. Yes, there are cases in court, unless and until a court of competent jurisdiction pronounces on any matter before it, you cannot take the laws into your hand. When the Federal High Court gave an order on the 12th and further gave further orders on the 24th to say that Ali-Modu Sharif remains the chairman and the Inspector General of Police should give him protection to carry out his duties as the national chairman. That is a valid, subsisting order which has not been overturned.
Mr. Ahmed Gulak.
That order has not been vacated. It is an interim order. It was not an ex parte order. The ex parte order gotten in Port Harcourt has a life of 14 days. By Order 26, Rule 12, Sub-Rule 1 and 2 of the Federal High Court Rules 2009. The life on an ex parte order comes to an end after 14 days, unless it is renewed or extended. It was not renewed, it was not extended, so that ex parte order came to an end. And so, the valid and subsisting order of the Federal High Court Lagos, which gives Ali-Modu Sharif the legal right to be the chairman of this party, pending when the substantive matter is determined.
Mr. Gulak, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us on the news at 10 tonight. In part 2, after the break, we'll be joined by the PDP Southwest leader and member Board of Trustees, Chief Olabode George, for some insight into the party's internal crisis. To join us again.